I want to emphasize that I prefer to have interaction session in my Dhamma sharing. I consider myself as a tour guide to guide you all to explore the Dhamma. It's not like I'm sitting here preaching to you all, because the Dhamma is to be explored, to be realized immediately, not tomorrow. So I will guide you to explore the Dhamma and realize as much as you can immediately. And next question I have, I'm just curious. Anyone who has heard me speak before? Maybe Dennis and Yiping. Oh, there are some. Interesting. Okay. So please ask as many questions as you can, and also please I also welcome sharing or feedback. Okay, so whatever feedback or sharing that you can think of, please do. That will help other people also. And regarding questions, just to encourage you all to ask questions, there is one sutta in Majjhima Nikaya, Chula Karma Vibhanga Sutta, the smaller exposition of the karma. Buddha says, why there are some people who are more wise this life, some less wise? Those who are more wise is because in the past life they asked questions. Okay, so please ask questions. You'll get wiser and wiser. Okay, first slide. Like I say, the Dhamma is to be explored, not just to be learned. So it's very different to learn about Rome or to explore and see Rome for yourself. So I will guide you to see and realize the Dhamma for yourself in this short 1 hour, as much as I can. Okay, next slide, please. So to me, I need to emphasize that those who are familiar with the Buddha's teaching, the core teaching is Four Noble Truths, Noble Eightfold Path. And in fact, Buddha did emphasize in Mahaparinibbana Sutta that as long as there is Noble Eightfold Path, there will be people who will be able to realize first stage, second stage, third stage, fourth stage sainthood. So this Noble Eightfold Path is very, very important. But most of us understand Noble Eightfold Path as Sila, Samadhi, Panya. If you look at Noble Eightfold Path in detail, it is not Sila, Samadhi, Panya. It's Panya, Sila, Samadhi, because it starts from right view. Samadhi first. So if you don't have right view, you have not even stepped into the door of Buddhism. All other activities are good. If you have done a lot of dana, you have keep your precepts well, you are a very compassionate person. But if you don't have the wisdom, you are not a Buddhist yet. You haven't even stepped to the door of Buddhism. You might ask, but why are we taught Sila, Samadhi, Panya? Because that's the prerequisite for all people, including Christians, Muslims. They need to at least have certain amount of precepts, virtue, certain amount of calmness, Samadhi, and certain amount of wisdom. But the real Buddha's teaching starts with Panya. Okay, next slide, please. Okay. This is from Mahachattarvisakha Sutta, which is Majjhima Nikaya 117. It says very clearly, I won't read the words. Basically, this paragraph says that the Noble Eightfold Path starts with right view. Okay, emphasize again, and it ends with the Samma Samadhi. Samma Samadhi, I prefer to translate as proper or right composure. Because the idea of concentration gives the wrong idea that you have to focus on something. From my understanding, this is just my understanding, that what Buddha intends for us to do is first get the view correct, then the sila is to discipline yourself in all aspects regarding that view, and when you and the Dhamma, which is the view, become one, that's the samadhi. So your view must be correct. If your view is wrong, let's say, for example, if you want to go to Singapore and your view is that I must travel north forever, you will never reach Singapore because Singapore is in the south. Okay? So your view is very, very important. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, today I'm going to explain to you as much as I can two descriptions of the truth, which will help you change your view. View has many aspects. Okay, one of the aspect is in the text is Four Noble Truths. That's the right view. But leading to Four Noble Truths, there is two Dhamma that I feel that it's very, very important that if you realize these two Dhamma, which is not difficult, you will definitely change your life. Not just change, transform your whole life. So, and back to my title says, wisdom dissolves all problems. I use the word dissolves because if the way you look at the world changes, the world that you look at changes, which means that you don't have to do anything. When your perspective of looking at the world changes because of your right view, the whole world changes and your problem dissolves by itself. Okay? So, what I'm going to give you is description of two reality or truth. Description is different from prescription. Prescription is what to do. Description is how things work. To me, is if you understand how things work, no need effort to do anything, your life will transform. But it's very difficult for most of us because, like, when I was introduced to this Dhamma by my friend, he told me that it's about how you see the world, not about what to do. My response is, yes, I understand, so what should I do next? Because we are so used to what to do. Okay? So, description is like fire burns. That's a description. Don't put your hand in the fire is a prescription. So, if your response after you hear what I say is, okay, so Bhante say I should do this, or therefore I shouldn't do this, you heard wrongly. Please ask. Anything after what I say, you add a therefore, but so is all your own extra adding, because I'm not giving a prescription. When I tell you that fire burns, you will know what to do. Sometimes make use of the fire, but make sure you don't put your hand in the fire. Okay? So that's a description. Next slide, please. Okay, so a description is where I point a direction. Let's say if I point here, you will see the Buddha image. So no effort needed. Okay, because the Buddha image already there. The truth, the reality is already there. Like fire already burned. You don't need to do anything to make fire burn. It already burned. Okay? So nothing much need to be done, but still you need to look at the direction that I point. But please look at where the finger points. Don't look at my finger. Okay? Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so first Dhamma that I want to share today is each and every one of us has natural inner peace inside us. So I use the word uncover, not to get, not to attain. This is important because for many years in my life, I have this wrong understanding that normally my mind is very messy. I have to work hard to calm it down. No. The mind is naturally very peaceful and calm. We just have to make sure we don't mess it up. It's a big difference between these two. Okay? Next slide, please. Okay. So now, you will say, Bhante, very good talk about, mind is naturally calm. But my mind is not calm. Okay? So I will guide you now to feel the calmness of the mind. I will do it in slow motion, but normally this will take maybe 1 second. So when you have developed this, it doesn't need time to do it. Okay, so don't have to sit straight or whatever. Just sit comfortably, as comfortable as you can. Easier if you close your eyes. Okay, when you are skillful at this, you don't have to close your eyes. After you close your eyes, bring your attention to your body. When you bring your attention to the body, you will feel that certain part of the body is tense. Once you feel the part that's tense, they will automatically release, the body will release the tension by itself. That's natural. But if you can't release it for some reason, just accept it. Don't fight with it. I will do it a bit slow. First, put your attention on the head. Any tension, release to the forehead, to the eyes, to the nose. Put your attention to the mouth, to the whole face, to the ears, to the neck. Now put your attention to both the shoulders. This is important. Totally relax the shoulders. You calm down. To the hands, back of the body, chest area, abdomen, to the thighs, the knees, the rest of the leg. Now you're more calm. Put your attention on your mind. When you put your attention on your mind, you will feel more peaceful, more calm, and feel the aliveness. But if you have still a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotion, don't do anything to the thoughts or emotion. Don't pay attention to them. Pay attention to the space where the thoughts or emotion arise and pass away. You will feel that that space, which is your mind, is very wide, very vast, has no limit. Feeling this vastness of the mind, your mind will open up and you will feel more calm, more peaceful. You can treat your mind like the blue sky at the background. No matter how many storms of thoughts or emotion there are, the blue sky is not affected. It remains calm and peaceful. You can also treat your mind like the bottom of the ocean. No matter how many waves of emotion or thoughts there are on the surface of the ocean, your mind, which is the bottom of the ocean, always remain calm and peaceful. You can also treat your mind like the screen where movie is projected onto it. No matter how violent the movie is, which are your thoughts and emotions, the screen is not affected. Feeling this calmness, peacefulness in the mind, slowly open the eyes. Okay, anyone can't feel the calm and peacefulness? Everyone can? Or too shy? Everyone can. Okay, since everyone can you, the mic pass around, each one give me 1 or 2 words to describe, if you want 1 sentence also can, to describe your feeling just now. The reason I want you to describe is so that you are more familiar with it. This is with us all the time. Don't need description, but when you describe, you become more familiar. Just quickly, no need to think, whatever that comes into your mind, please pass the mic and say 1 or 2 words. Oh, okay. You want to speak it also can.
Calm.
Calm, okay, good.
Yeah.
Peaceful,
Well.
okay, good.
Yeah. Sleepy.
Sleepy, okay. Sleepy is not bad. Normally our mind goes like 3,000 kilometers an hour. So when we sit down and relax, it shuts down. Okay? So you didn't feel what I got you to feel, but that's a normal things that happen to the mind. Okay, next person, please.
Happy.
Happy? Okay, good. Happy is good. This subtle happiness is what we are looking for in our life. Unfortunately, everyone knows that we're looking for happiness in life, but we don't know what happiness we are looking for. We think we are looking for that. Yes, I strike the lottery. Yeah, that's happiness, but it's too rough for us to really enjoy it. Okay, next.
I feel that it's nothing, just the breathing only.
Okay, that's nothing as in there is no disturbance.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, next.
It's so.
Okay.
But by putting our attention on the mind, especially if our mind is running everywhere, so that would not give us calmness, isn't it?
Okay, good question. Okay. I want to stress that what I introduced you just now is not a formal meditation method. Okay? That's why I say I'm not giving you a technique, a description, a prescription. I'm trying to guide you to see that normally, without doing anything, your mind is calm. But because normally you don't know how to see this, so I need some steps to guide you. Okay? And please remember, it's a very good question. I'm not asking you to sit in formal meditation to do what I guide you just now. What I guide you is to be used in your everyday life. And just now I guide you takes a bit longer because I want you to be familiarized. Normally it only takes 1 second. So for this way of feeling what's already there, you cannot tell me, Bhante, I have no time. Okay, this only takes 1 second. For formal meditation, you say, Bhante, I have no time to meditate. This one is, I call it state of meditation, which only takes 1 second. If you don't have 1 second, I don't know how to say to you. Okay. Quick, one word, whatever comes.
Awareness.
Awareness? Okay, good. Okay, never mind.
Freedom from the body stress.
Okay, freedom from body stress. Okay, one thing is important is something you'll be quite surprised, only realized not long ago that when we put our attention on our body, somehow the tense part automatically be released by itself, most of the time. So, and then when the tense part is released by itself, your body less tense, your mind will be less tense, and what I call is your doctor is back home, because our body knows how to heal itself if the mind is back. If we are lost in thoughts, very difficult to heal ourselves. Okay, next.
Slowing down.
Slowing down, okay.
The whole body settles very slowly.
Okay, good. Settle down, okay.
Relax.
Relax, okay, good.
I feel calm.
Okay, calm, okay, good.
It's like the calmness of backdrop. There's still a lot of things happening.
Okay, this is very good, okay. I'm not asking you to experience a calmness where nothing happening. This is another wrong idea that I have, unfortunately for many years. I always thought calm means there's no thoughts, there's totally quiet. Doesn't mean that. The calm that I'm guiding you to see that's always there is no matter how many negative thoughts there are, at the background there's always this calm mind. You don't need to shut off all these negative thoughts. As long as you don't pay attention to them, they cannot get you. Okay, next slide. Next person, sorry.
At first, when listening to your talk, close your eyes, you can feel a lot of things in your brain and mind. After a little while, I feel that suddenly darken, suddenly zoom in and darken, and then suddenly I feel that myself is like a bit numb already. Then, like breathing also slow down.
Okay.
Then when the next deep breath, I feel very happy.
Okay, very good.
Dropping.
Okay, very good. Okay, next, where are we?
Bhante, the awareness of things impermanent.
Okay, interesting. Okay, next.
Relaxed and peaceful.
Okay.
The mind went blank for a while,
Okay.
but then it came back again, the thoughts.
Okay, no problem. So I want to emphasize that thoughts are not a problem. The problem comes when we get lost in the thoughts. We treat thoughts as facts. I'll talk more about it later. Okay, next.
My thoughts are coming, then I just brush them off.
No need to brush them off, just don't pay attention to them. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Next.
I feel lighter and more awake.
Okay.
There were thoughts, but it was still very calm.
Okay, good.
I feel calm and relaxed.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel inner peace. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel in control.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool. C-O-L.
Cool.
Cool. Okay, very good. Okay, cool.
I see a younger self of myself.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, getting more interesting.
Initially, I feel quiet, but then the thought will come and go.
Okay, no problem. So remember, when this thought comes and go, no problem. Only problem is we treat the thoughts as facts, we go inside it. Okay, next slide.
I see my mind as the blue sky, and then I have a lot of clouds passing through, like my thoughts. Then I see things as they are. I understand the description that you meant. Thank you.
Good, very good. Okay.
I immediately log into my body, stay present in my body, and scan through my whole body, knowing which part is overused, which part very tired, which part you got pain.
Okay.
Just enjoy looking at it. That's all.
Okay.
I heard a voice from Bhante, but subsequently I feel that my mind is with my body, which I think I can be alone.
Okay, good. We won't feel lonely. Okay.
I feel very locked in.
Very?
Locked in.
Locked.
Yeah, locked in. Yeah.
Lock in, okay.
Focus. Like focus.
Oh yeah, okay,
Focus,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think, okay, one more.
I feel calm and peaceful.
Okay, very good. Okay, we don't have time for too many. We'll stop here for a while. So, sorry, Kitchu, need to go to the next slide. Yeah. Thanks, Kitchu, for your hard work. Okay, 2 questions I want to ask is, I forgot to use the board, never mind. I wanted to write down what your descriptions of the feeling, but never mind. Just want you to think, those descriptions just now you have happiness, joy, calm, relax. Is that what you really want, the type of feelings? Anyone don't want this kind of feelings? No, okay? So it's important. What we want, our mind will be directed towards it. That's in Pali called yoniso manasikara, wise attention. So when you put attention on something, the mind will go that direction. So if you put the mind is on the direction that originally the mind is always calm, then you will keep seeing this. And the description helps us. The next question is, if you ask this question, how do I maintain these feelings? You are asking the wrong question. Because it's like asking, Bhante, how do I maintain my nose? The nose is always there, so no need to maintain. So same, this calmness is always there. Your question should be, Bhante, how come I don't feel this calmness all the time? Sometimes I can be sad, sometimes I can be very angry. That's because you are lost in thoughts. We will tackle that later on. Okay, any questions up to here? Okay, next slide, please. Okay, this time I mentioned this. You can imagine, analogy, your mind is like the bottom of the ocean. No matter how much waves there are, which are your thoughts or emotion, the bottom of the ocean not affected. And there's another saying to me is important, that one Tibetan teacher says that if you can be okay with whatever situation, with not okay, then you're always okay. Yeah? This is very important because for our life, all of us are trying to chase for security. Okay, we want security. But we never realize that one of the very important core teaching of the Buddha is anicca, impermanence. Impermanence means there is no security. So if you can really accept impermanence, that there is no security, you have the greatest security, because it doesn't matter whatever happens, you are secure because you can accept it. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, another way that helpful I didn't use just now is if you say that, Bhante, I can't feel this, calm and peace already inside us. Look for baby, okay, or pets, same. Babies don't need a reason to be happy. They can look at the thumbs and be happy. So look at babies, so then it will help you. They always have, and every one of us always have this fun-loving child inside us. So when you look at babies, kids can fight and fight until like they want to punch each other, but the next second they are good friends playing. For us, we quarrel a little bit. For the next 10 years, we don't know talk to the person already. So try to learn from kids, okay? If you find it difficult, one of my last time teachers, monk, who says that then you can play with or learn from other people's kids, okay? Then you don't have to take responsibility. After finish, you can give back to the parents. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, one important thing is awareness. Awareness is very important. Just now, if you have awareness, you will realize this calmness and peacefulness inside us. Okay, I will jump a bit because one story come to my mind which I think very useful is when you have awareness, a lot of problems solved. Okay, so this story is about one American husband who often quarrel with the wife. But he has been learning two Dhamma that I'm sharing. One is the mind is naturally calm. Number two is, which I will talk more later on, is we don't experience what's happening. We experience what we think is happening. Okay, this is important. So one of the time when he was quarreling with the wife, suddenly with awareness, a sudden awareness, I presume he didn't run meditation. Awareness all of us have. We always think that we need meditation to be aware. No. Like now, do you know that you are sitting down, you are not standing, that you are not running? You have awareness. Okay, very simple. So he suddenly had this awareness that he is very angry. First step, very important. Most of the time when we are angry, we didn't realize. When people tell us, hey, look, you are angry. Wake up! I'm not angry. That's the normal response. So with awareness, he realized that. And second, he realized that his anger don't come from the wife. Comes from an interpretation of what the wife said. And his interpretation and story is, again, she's trying to control me. Again, she's trying to nag me. There's no again. Every time it's new. And also, it's your interpretation that someone is controlling you. Immediately, he jumped out of the quarrel, and then he excuse himself to take the dog for a walk. When he took the dog for a walk, he realized deeper and clearer that number one important Dhamma is his anger don't come from the wife. It comes from his thinking. And from that day onwards, not much quarrel with the wife. Nothing really changed, he says, but somehow his perspective of life totally changed. Okay, so this perspective very important. Okay, next slide, please. So one way to increase awareness is constantly ask ourselves, am I here? Most of the time, our body is here, our mind is not here. Okay? And this we can be aware, because one time I was conducting a retreat for university students. University students, now kids, I don't know why they wake up maybe noon, so morning is too early for them. So when I asked this book, I give some questions for them to do, and this university student say, Bhante, can I use ChatGPT to answer? Because my body is here, my mind is not here. At least he's aware. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, one way, if you are not here, this is a prescription. You can ground yourself by feeling your body or by aware of your breath. By feeling your body or breath, it just takes 10 seconds, you are back to being here, to present. Forgot. There's a psychologist who call this 10-second miracle. Guy Hendricks. Guy Hendricks is the psychologist. Okay, next slide, please. Okay. So all this, the next few slides, I just shall roughly guide you through. Like normally we pay attention to our thoughts and emotion. Don't pay attention to thought emotions, pay attention to the space, or pay attention to that which know the thoughts or emotion. You are stepping out from there. Okay, this one. Next slide, please. This is the sky that I guide you to. Pay attention to the space which the thoughts, emotion arise. That's the sky, which is your mind. Okay? And don't claim ownership of the clouds or the clouds of emotion and thoughts. This is very important. Normally, when we are angry, our response is, I am angry. I and anger become one. You identify with the emotions. Or I and the thought become one. I am sad. Then you are locked in there. You are not sad, you are not angry. There is only sad emotion that arise and pass away. There is sad thought that arise and pass away. Very different. Just a change of perspective. Okay, next slide, please. The cinema analogy or the movie analogy. So, doesn't matter what emotions, thoughts you have, which is the movie, the screen is always calm and peaceful. Okay, next slide. Okay, this one I mentioned just now. I'm not angry. There are anger thoughts that arise, pass away. I'm not fearful. There are fearful thoughts that arise and pass away. So don't identify with thoughts, emotion. Don't claim ownership. Okay, this is important. This is again right view, change of perspective, because there is no permanent, non-changing identity of a self to begin with. If you slowly realize that the identity of a self don't really exist, but it's not nothing, you solve all your problems. All our problems in life come from I, me, mine. He ignored me, he didn't love me, he didn't like me, he looked down on me. Everything is to do I, me, mine. Okay, so if you can not hold on to the I, me, mine so much, all your problems without exception are solved. Okay, any questions so far? Totally understand or totally lost? Either way, when there are questions, either totally understand or totally lost. Okay, to me, all this that I'm sharing with you is very simple, very easy. Anyone can do it. You don't need a PhD degree. But the important thing is, do you want to do it? Okay. One of the reasons we don't want to do it is because emotionally very difficult for us to accept that originally we are calm or our problems don't come from outside. Okay. So this is something that do you want to do it or not? More important. Okay, next slide, please. Okay. When we put all our attention on something like fear, fear becomes very big. That's why I ask you to step back, look at the space where all this come from. The next slide. When you step back, fear becomes very small, very insignificant compared to the large space of your mind. Okay? So, again, I want to emphasize that the way I guide you to feel that vastness of the mind is how I myself experience it. Your way of experiencing it might be very different. So use your own way. I'm just pointing to you that you already have this natural calm and peace. You might use a very different way to see and realize it. Okay, don't get limited by the way that I explain. That's why I use many analogy, many description, because some people might resonate with one description, might not resonate with another description. Okay, any questions? Okay, no, next slide. Oh, good.
Bhante, so I'm just curious, with regard to fear, for example, I mean, it's such an overpowering emotion. How does one actually step back? I know I'm asking for a prescription, but I'm just wondering, how does one actually manage or handle that?
Okay, good question.
In the heat of that moment.
Okay, good question. So, fear, the problem is same with anger and all this emotion. The first question that comes into our mind is what we are fearful of, right? We pay attention to what we are fearful of. Let's say there's a snake. We saw the snake and we attribute our fear towards the snake, right? That's the problem. When you have anger, when you have fear, don't pay attention to what the object that you are fearful of or anger with. Pay attention to that Every time when I'm fearful, it means that I have fearful thought. And I don't have to believe this fearful thought. Because every fearful thought that arises will go away by itself. You cannot step out because you are lost in that fearful thought. Because you treat the fearful thought as real. 2 persons can see a same snake, 1 person can be frightened, 1 person not. Good example, when I was 5 years old, my grandmom brought me to Snake Temple in Penang. She took the snake and put it on her neck, grabbed hold of me to take a photo. In the photo, it's only half of me. Because I was so afraid that I ran away. My grandmom was not afraid at all. So the fear don't come from the snake. The fear comes from our thinking about the snake. So you have to somehow, through your daily life, realize this. Realization is important. You cannot try with something very, very difficult. Let's say, I don't know, where you're fearful of something extremely, really terrorize you. You don't start with that. Start with something simple and slowly investigate that every fear you have is nothing to do with what's happening outside. It's to do with your thinking. And I'm not asking you to change your thinking, because every thought that arises will cease by itself. You just have to not pay attention to your thought. It don't have power, it cannot continue.
But if you're faced with a tiger, for example,
okay.
It's a matter of survival, isn't it?
Good question. We are rarely faced with a tiger. When we are faced with a tiger, what saves us is not our fear. What saves us is our survival instinct. In fact, fear will kill you. When you have a survival instinct, actually we are very calm. When the mother sees the kid is under a car, they can calmly lift the car and save the kid, not out of fear. Fear don't help. We always equate wrongly. We equate survival with fear. No. When your mind is, it's in emergency, your mind is extremely calm at the time, because it dwells in how to save myself. No time to think fearful thoughts. You don't have this experience because we live in a very safe society. That's the problem actually, because in the old days, we only face tiger once in maybe two weeks. Okay? So every time when we face tiger, we actually shut down our whole system, all the, immune system, so that we can run away from the tiger. But now, our tiger is equivalent to our boss, or our husband, wife, parents, and so on, which we see 24 hours. So your immune system shut down 24 hours. That's why we have a lot of sickness, a lot of cancer. So the fear don't comes from the tiger, comes from your thinking about the tiger. And survivor don't need fear. This is important because as long as you think that fear is useful, it saves me, it's a survival technique, you cannot stop being fearful because you think it's beneficial. So this is a prescription, okay, that if you are totally lost in a thought, ask yourself 2 questions. Does this emotion or thought helps me? Does it benefit me? Fear doesn't. Number 2 is, does it feel good? If it doesn't feel good, it doesn't benefit you, why continue? If that fear can save you, then okay, but fear don't save you. It's your survival instinct that saves you. Okay? Any other? No. It's thoughts. Correct. It's thoughts. Same. You have to see that fear don't come from the water, don't come from the insect, don't come from the heights. If you solve this height, they will have another fear. Because their fear comes from fearful thoughts. A good example is you ask Bhante, what about trauma? Trauma is automatic. It's not about thoughts. It is thoughts also. A good example is there's an American, I think it's Deacon Bettinger, who teaches what I share with you all, that number 1, your mind is naturally calm. Number 2, every single emotion experience you have comes from your thoughts, not from outside. So he said one time his son, maybe 5 years old, crossed the road, got slammed by a car, went into ICU, almost died. He recovered. The first time he and the son crossed the road together, halfway he saw his son not next to him, was like frozen next to the road, although the cars are very far away because of trauma. Okay? But trauma is just thoughts. Kids easier, so he tells the son, I understand what you are going through. Now you have fearful thoughts, which is trying to protect you, because last time you got slammed by the car. Don't get lost in the thoughts. Just stay there, calm down. Kids easier, because they don't hold on to the thoughts. Few minutes later, he comes himself back, can cross the road. Trauma is also thoughts.
But I think when I analyze some of the monks when they talk, I think for monks, maybe they have better control of fear. Why? Because they meditate. When you attain to deep jhana, especially, then think you can.
I give you an example just now of a lay person, not a monk. The kid is a lay person. So I believe very strongly, okay, of course it's just my belief, but through listening to all these American personal coaches, that this can be applicable to any Tom, Dick and Harry who don't meditate at all. Okay, but you have to at least have a little bit of confidence to try it in your daily life. If your mind already shut that this is impossible for me, then sorry, because Henry Ford says, if you think you can, you can. If you think you cannot, you cannot. It's not a strategy, okay? So I didn't, just now you used the word should not or should and all that. I didn't say should or should not. I'm just explaining to you how the mind works. How the mind works is, we are not fearful of the thing outside. We have fear because of fearful thoughts. You have to see that your fear don't come from there, come from here, and here you don't have a choice to control, but you have a choice not to pay attention. When you don't pay attention, you cannot sustain, you are out of it. Friday.
Okay. The snake, he don't come in front of the sun, he just walk beside you.
Yeah.
When you see the thing, you frighten, you jump out. So I also use this way to try to tell myself, no need to be fear with them, they don't bite you.
Okay, be careful. I'm not asking you to pet the snake, because some snake can bite you. So in fact, what I'm trying to explain to you has a second part, okay? When you realize that your fear don't come from the snake, come from your fearful thought, your mind will not lost in fear, you will calm down. When you calm down, you'll be more careful with the snake. You will know what to do. I'm not asking you to don't care about the snake. I'm saying that you don't have to get lost in the fear.
I think it's quite tough, because I try to do that. I try to, this snake will not bite, because everyone say...
I'm not asking you, see, you didn't get me. I'm not asking you to think this snake will not bite me, because when you think that way, you are still thinking your fear comes from the snake. So I have to brainwash myself that the snake is not harmful and all that. You still think your fear comes from the snake. I'm telling you that your fear don't come from the snake. But of course, what I'm sharing with you is difficult for us to accept emotionally. So we have to try it. I encourage you to try it in daily life. But try it as not your way. Your way is a strategy to brainwash yourself that the snake is not harmful, it's okay. You are still thinking your fear comes from the snake. Your strategy won't work. Okay. It sounds similar to what I'm saying, but it's, to me, very different. Different by a bit is very different. So similarly, since you're on this point, some people might get the wrong idea that, Bhante, what you're saying is positive thinking. No, it's nothing to do with positive thinking. If you still want to think positive, means that you still believe your thoughts are real. So you want to think positive, you don't think negative. When you use positive thinking, I'm not saying that it's not good, it's better than negative thinking. But then when you believe that you have to think positive, when negative thoughts come, you panic. But now I'm telling you that whether positive, negative, all thoughts are stories, they're crap. Don't have to believe them, then you won't get caught. Of course, you need to experiment yourself. So that's why I keep emphasizing, it doesn't help you that much if you treat it as a lesson in Rome, about Rome. You have to explore Rome for yourself. The next time when you're angry, when you're upset, or fearful, sometimes some people more difficult. Try anger first. The next time, this is a technique to try, okay? Normally I don't give prescription, but you can use this prescription to see the description. So next time when you're very quarrel with someone, you're very angry, okay? At that time, try to think of something very, very funny. Can you continue to be angry? You can't. Which proves my point that in order for you to sustain the anger, you have to keep thinking angry thoughts. Why he do that? How come he do that? Same. The fear, in order for you to be fearful of the snake, you got to keep sustaining the thought subconsciously. Otherwise, you cannot be fearful. But you have to try. Okay. Any other questions?
Bhante.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Question here, Bhante.
Okay.
How do one get rid of the I, my, and me? How do you measure the success? One is either when the emotion arises, just stay as observer, not to participate. Or number two, when the emotion arises, like what Bhante said just now, to replace with another counter emotion that is opposite to neutralize it. Or the third, the highest level, the emotion can't even arise.
Okay.
So which one is
one by one? Okay, one by one. Too many I can't follow. So I heard the second one, counter emotions. Okay, so I'll tackle that one first. Traditionally, most of the texts or most of the Dhamma sharers will tell you to use counter. Okay, let's say if you're angry, use metta.
Yeah.
If you are fearful, think of the Buddha's virtue. Correct. Okay. Very good technique, but like I say, I prefer wisdom. So what I'm sharing with you is, if you can see that your fear, your anger don't come from outside, it comes from your angry thoughts, your fearful thoughts, and you don't have to believe your thoughts, you don't need to counter. You just have to see your thoughts are stories, not real. You're out of it. As long as you don't pay attention to the angry thoughts or the fearful thoughts, they cannot sustain. So this is very important. Something sounds very simple, but most of us didn't realize that in order for you to continue to be angry, you need to make a lot of effort to be thinking angry thoughts. Do you realize that? It's very strange. It's like someone says something, you got to keep thinking, how come he say that? He shouldn't say that. He looked down on me. So my analogy is, every time when you're angry and continue to be angry, you are doing like this. Bhante, my cheek very painful. What should I do? No need counter. If you saw this, survival instinct. No need that. So this is about counter. The next two.
Sorry, Bhante.
Yeah, back to the...
Bhante, sorry. His question was actually in relation to I, me, and mine.
Yeah. So anyway, I point that one first. So I, me, and mine, I'm going to...
So your answer is back to the option one, that you become an observer to the emotion. Or...
No, actually, observer emotion is again a prescription. Okay, this prescription is useful, but you have to be very careful, because after a while you will think that observer is I. I'm not saying it's no good. For beginners, you can try that, because as long as you step out as an observer, you don't participate in there. Like two-person quarreling, you are third party, you see it's like so childish. When you're inside, what childish? This is very serious. So step out like a third party and see it.
Yeah.
You will solve this, you're right.
Yeah.
But this is a prescription which, be careful, it can be your poison later on. Because now your observer is your I. And this I is very subtle, very difficult to break later on. But as long as you use it as a tool, I have no problem with it.
Or the highest level, don't even let the emotion arise.
You can't do that. I haven't reached there yet. But back to your identity of the self, you can use what I'm sharing with you today. What I'm sharing with you is that, which I haven't reached there, but I'll be jumping, that you don't experience this world. You experience your thought-created world. Because like now, you are not listening to what I'm saying. You're listening to what you think I'm saying. What you think I'm saying and what I'm saying can be very different. Okay? So, since your world is made out of thoughts, this guy is made out of thoughts. So I'm clever, I'm stupid, I'm useless, I'm fat. It's all nonsense. It's just stories. When you can see that they are all stories, they are not facts, then you break the identity of a self, inside and outside. So using this way, by keep seeing and seeing through realization, you will break the identity of a self. But remember this, breaking identity of a self doesn't mean become nothing. Okay? Because Buddhists have this big tendency, especially Theravada, to move towards nihilism. We think that non-self is nothing. So I have to warn you that non-self is not nothing. Closest analogy I can give you is rainbow. When you see rainbow, you won't say that there is something there. Because if you say that there is something, I say bring it to me. You can't. But if you say it's nothing, I say I can see the rainbow. So rainbow is not something, it's not nothing. When you get enlightened, you realize that people around you, things, everything become like rainbow. So you appreciate them, but you don't hold on to them. No holding, no attachment. No one will take the rainbow home and say, don't steal my rainbow, don't steal my rainbow. And no one will also go the other extreme that, rainbow is nothing, it's just an illusion, it's all crap. No. Rainbow is very beautiful. We still enjoy rainbow, but we will never attach to it. So that's the closest analogy. When you get enlightened, you still enjoy life. Enjoy not the way we enjoy. You won't become robot who has no feeling at all. You still have feeling, but you don't get lost and tangled. Okay, sorry.
Thank you, Bhante. Bhante frequently say that the mind is naturally peaceful. Can you please explain this further, Bhante? Because as we understand, in Buddhism, we go into a cycle of samsara. We carry with us our karmic debts, whether they are credits or debts, the karmic dynamics is there. How does, perhaps Bhante can explain a little bit, when upon birth, immediate upon birth, how are we induced with inner peace? An inner calm mind, Bhante, because we carry with us our past.
Yeah, the past does not disturb that. Like I say, the clouds, no matter how much clouds of emotions, thoughts of karma they are, at the background, the blue sky is not disturbed. I'm not saying that there is no clouds. Just now I did mention, I'm not saying that there are no clouds of emotion, thoughts of karma. I'm saying that if you shift your attention to the background, where thoughts and emotion come and go, you are not affected by your thoughts and emotion. There is an inner peace at the background. You just have to shift your attention.
Because it does seem a little bit, distant. When you have, when I have a calm mind, it doesn't equate or make it easier to let the thoughts go into the background and a moment later completely let go. So I'm trying to find a connection here between inner peace, a calm mind, and the art of letting go based on having a calm mind.
Okay.
Thank you, Bhante.
I'm not talking about art of letting go, having a calm mind. I'm saying that we naturally have this calm mind there, but we didn't realize. So basically, you have to get familiar with the calm mind, and I have to stress that the calm mind that I mentioned is not a mind that is totally have no thoughts, no emotion. That's what we are used to. I'm saying that even when there's storms of emotions, thoughts, and so on, at the background, there's always this calmness. You have to experience for yourself. Don't believe the words that I say. You have to experience yourself that no matter how much turbulence there are, there is at the background this calmness. I'm not saying that it has no karma or whatever. I'm just saying that even when you are totally lost in stress, at the background, there is this calmness in there. You have to experience it for yourself. Okay? Yeah, okay.
Hi, Bhante. Thank you. Thank you for your teaching. Just to also share what the sister question is, I personally noticed that some people are calmer, some people tend to be more nervous, anxious. So the question is that, is it due to our karma, our past, doing, therefore there are different characteristics in place that we see people behaving in certain manner. For instance, like my husband is as cool as a cucumber, and whereas I can freak out over very, small things, but now I have learned how to be calmer, see things as they are and all that. But it's just like, is it like an inborn natural thing, or is it something to be cultivated? That's my question.
Okay.
Thank you.
To me, it's not important whether we are naturally more calm or not calm. What I want to share with you today is, no matter how uncalm you are, because for many lives you have been uncalm, so your habit is totally uncalm, you still have that calmness at the background. There is hope. It doesn't matter how messy your mind is, there is always this inner peace at the background. That's what I want to stress today. Of course, those who are naturally calm, your husband, they don't even need to know about this inner peace because they're naturally calm. It's more useful for people who has a lot of thoughts in their mind like me. Okay? So no matter how messy you are, today's message is that if you don't put your attention on the messiness, you shift your attention to the background. Doesn't matter what situation, the background is always calm. Okay? I don't think we have time, but I want to, maybe we skip next slide. I want to show you where this comes from. This one is useful, but next slide. Next slide. This one. Sorry, back. Okay. I didn't pluck what I shared with you from the sky. Okay. It's from this Anguttara Nikaya, Book 1, words 49 and 50. Luminous monk is the mind, and it is defiled by incoming defilement. Luminous to me is calm, peaceful, clear. It's another way of describe. Luminous monk is the mind, and it's freed from incoming defilements. So defilements are like dirt coming to cover up the pure, and not pure, I wouldn't like to use the word pure, more clear inner peace inside us. This, unfortunately, this sutta is not emphasized so much in Theravada teaching. Why? Because it will be misunderstood, like in Mahayana, they have this Buddha nature. Buddha nature is useful teaching, but we take it as a thing. Then we grasp onto it. Theravada is very careful not to hold on to a thing. And we also might misunderstand that, okay, now maybe we are already enlightened. We are not already enlightened, but we have this inner peace inside us. So Theravada is careful so that you don't misunderstand. Okay, but doesn't mean it doesn't have this. Okay, any final questions? Because time.
So Bhante, what are the defilements?
Oh, defilements, we know, great hatred, delusion.
The three roots?
Yeah, defilements, great delusion. So this one is to stress that your mind naturally is peaceful and calm until the great hatred delusion come and cover it. Great hatred delusion come and cover it.
Bhante, along that analogy, it means it's very difficult. It's only human beings and above able to see the calmness. Animal, rhymes and below, all very susah.
Because animal cannot understand me. Unless you can find an animal can understand human language. Even human, like I say, you are not listening to what I'm saying, you're listening to what you think I'm saying. So even human totally, quite often misunderstood. In fact, one Dhamma teacher says that actually, in terms of human to human, we always only have miscommunication. Because my rate and your rate and Buddha's rate is different.
Yeah.
So he said that only sometimes when miscommunication get miscommunicated, double negative, then we have communication. So that's why I need you all to ask questions. Then I can clarify, because what I share is very simple but very easily to be miscommunicated.
It means animals how can animals come out from there then?
Next life. Next time they are born as human, then they can.
As long as they exhaust their unwholesome karma, then they come back.
Yeah.
They don't need to do any effort to come back.
Maybe they have they either burn all their bad karma, or animals also have a chance sometimes to do good karma. They take care of their owner, or they help their owner to be less fearful or more happy and so on. So they have their ways of getting married. Yeah, don't have to worry too much about them. Okay. Animals now are very, well taken care of. And I feel that they have a chance to listen to Dhamma also, some of them. They might not understand, but by listening, that's the merits, they'll help them. Okay, one last question, okay.
Bante, in Chinese, the 三字经, they always say 人之初, 性本善. So after listening to Bante's talk, I think we have to add in 心本宁静.
Okay.
谢谢.
Okay, 心本宁静, okay. Okay. Any questions?
What did he say?
He says, okay. He says normally there is this sutta that says the mind is normally wholesome, san, but actually maybe better to say that the mind is originally calm, peaceful. Yeah. Thank you. But I also believe that the mind is originally wholesome for human beings. This is my person. I believe there is no person that is bad in this world. The bad people do what they do because they think it's right. So it's back to their thoughts. Because they think that what they are doing by killing and all that is to protect themselves. I'm not saying they're right. I'm saying that their way of thinking is totally messed up. So they have messed up action, messed up life. It's not because they're bad. Okay, anyone?
Any last question?
Anyone last? Maybe I have 2-3 minutes.
Okay, one more question.
One more question. Okay, good.
Bhante, actually I come to Theravada Buddhism teaching quite new. I'm new. My family, my mom is from Mahayana. My father is Taoism. So we are quite mixed up in the whole family.
Same here.
Yeah, my husband is Theravada. So I have at home I have three teaching. Obviously, I'm more to Theravada now because of my husband. Actually, I have a question. Because my mom is a very Mahayana type of teaching. At home, whatever we do or we go travel, she will always ask me to say, you must 念佛号, 阿弥陀佛, whatever I do. 阿弥陀佛 will 保佑你. But I don't say it. I don't know why. So I don't say it, but in my heart, I feel like it against my mom. Like I don't fulfill what she wanted me to do. So what should I, how, because recently I told my mom that in Buddhism teaching, we don't say Ami Tofo. So there's like these things in my family, I don't feel good about.
Why conflict? Okay, just treat Amitabha as an emanation, a manifestation of a Buddha. We have many Buddha. So when you recite Amitabha, just think that I'm recalling a Buddha, a quality of the Buddha. Amitabha basically means the boundless light Buddha. All Buddha has boundless light. So why want to quarrel over small things? Just recite Amitabha 1 time or 2 times, solve the problem. And no need to explain too much with the differences.
My mom is obsessed. I do not want to be obsessed like her. So
you don't have to be obsessed. You just have to recite. She recites 100 times, you recite 2 times or 3 times. Normally we recite in 3. And no need to explain to her because they don't understand. That's a good door for them because I'm not a faith person. For a faith person, they need something simple, like just recite the Buddha's name. Doesn't work for me. But it works for certain people. Since it worked for your mom, let her be. She just keep remembering the good qualities of the Buddha or boundless light. I don't see any problem with it. Okay. Or maybe the next slide, I just want to show you that if you are interested in this conversation, every Friday night in Zoom, I share this Dhamma. And surprisingly, I've been doing it for 5 years already. So I try to share with using different angle, this particular Dhamma, that we are naturally calm and peaceful, and that every experience we have is a reflection of our thoughts, not reflection of what's going on out there. Okay. And there's no conflict between Mahayana and Theravada. It's the devotees who have conflict. I learned a lot of Mahayana things and use a lot. So, of course, what I share with you, I got to find the Theravada text to back it up. Okay. But I'm also highly appreciative of Mahayana, Vajrayana, and so on. And Malaysians are extremely lucky because we're exposed to all three. If you are in Myanmar, Thailand, they don't know much about what's this Mahayana or Vajrayana. They think it's some cult teaching and so on because they are not exposed. For us, we can make use of all three as long as you don't get confused. Okay.